You have heard Tenor Eugene Conley singing the Obad from the third act of Lalo's The Rati.
My dear friends, we come again to meet at the hour in which it is Christmas, Christmas, that we are in every second of every day. But we must realize that we, the Christ, the anointed ones, of pure perfection, are here to radiate the beauty of the sun, of life, of goodness. The spice and everything nice. So, I thank you for everything that you put forth in your decrees, in your songs, in your alchemies, in your arts, with your devotion of your heart that you put forth in releasing comfort in the sacred fire unto your world around you, into the elements around you, into the very ethers of Akasha. That go around the world at a speed known not by the human consciousness. We take this time to consecrate life eternal this very day, and our opportunities to bring forth this light of life unto this planet and the planets beyond this planet. There are many human concepts that I know have washed in and through many spiritual teachings, and whereas your ability is only limited so much, that your way to spread peace, your way to spread love, it can go far and wide, but there's only so much that you can do, you know. You're a human being, and, you know, this world is pretty big, you know. My dear ones, the sacred fire knows no limits. Your mighty I Am presence knows no limits. Your mighty I Am presence is the same power that the Elohim wield, that we all must one day garner to be the fruition of who you are, of what is possible in creating magnificent architecture, art and beauty, music, temples, drama, dance, the ways of expression of the Godhead in which we embody as individualized Marian presences are limitless. And it is a joy to be able to partake and be in this journey, this mighty opportunity to love, to receive love from all things around us, from the Marian presence, which is ever streaming forth its light into your very heart. And at your command, through the spoken word, perhaps just thought form, but through the spoken word, which is a means of expressing in greater intensity the fullness of what you desire. Mighty I Am Presence, release to me the divine direction, the illumination, and the purity required to go forward unto this very moment, unto these conditions I have to face in the outer world, my affairs, my job, my relationships. Release thy light into me, release thy light into me, release thy light into me, by your sacred fire. And I demand and command what I ask for myself, I ask for every son and daughter of God, and that is a mighty I Am Presence, fully knowing what they should do, what he or she should do to bring forth the necessary victory for their initiations. Singing is a beautiful means of expression that many upon this planetary body have ignored, have doubted, have not even begun to realize that it is a possibility of bringing forth light, love unto all life. Same with any instrument. But I wish for you all to commune with us, the Ark of the Covenant, in this endeavor of pursuing music. Perhaps you already do, but there are many teachings of the outer world which limit the capabilities that many mighty I Am Presences cannot achieve, their potential, their height, of which their mighty I Am Presence has ready for them, through human teachings, through outer teachings. Perhaps some outer teachings may validate certain areas of releasing the heart and the attributes of technique, in which may be a good foundation. I think it is. But we must rely on the presence to achieve the full glory that we can release to this life, to this planet, to every person. And as the goddess of music has spoken before, perhaps it was Lady Master Lido, that 15-20 minutes a day, if you pursued that through singing and calling forth your mighty I Am Presence, mighty I Am Presence sing through me. My throat is your throat. Charge my being and my throat with your sacred fire to make me bring forth the music of the spheres, the beautiful chords and melodies and rhythm, the harmony. Make me bring forth the fullness of who you are, and then sing the glorious beauties that is possible. And there are many bombardments of noise in this world, so perhaps going to a quiet space would be helpful. Perhaps even just humming. Many in this world have forgotten the expression of music in purity, music in bringing forth your heart, which is love, which is the sacred fire unto all of life. And we must rekindle the fire that many have put out and or have not lit. It is our duty, because we know what we can do. And I bring this to you just because this is what we are working on. And we don't wish for us or either you to continue on singing when you know it's not the best you can do, because there's a certain activity that goes on that disturbs your instruments and your potential of bringing forth the best of what you can bring forth. There are many psychic and astral forces on this world. And the consciousness abiding in the instruments of many individuals that are not aware that the destruction they truly emit. And we must decree for them. We must with all our heart call upon our brothers and sisters, the lords and ladies of the ascended master octave, and I say time in and time again, this must be done. And the act of continually making the call is a glorious appreciation by the Brotherhood of Light, that when you do it with your heart, when you see it, when you picture it, of the flame going forth unto the individuals upon this planetary body, they act in that energy. You allow them because you are God, and cosmic law works because only God puts forth the right activity for their sacred fire to be released unto this planetary body. We must break the hearts of stone of the mothers and fathers. Just about every day there is such abuse and harm and murder to the children, to those who are kept in slavery. There is such great abuse that I need not go into the depth of what it consists of, but truly you have the power to free them. To free the elemental beings from the individuals who destroy many habitats and forests, and it goes on and polluting the waters and the air. But you have the power to rid all these conditions. Everything you see on the news, you have the power to rid, whether it be in government, whether it be in mass billions of people, it matters not, because your power, The I Am presence is unlimited. It knows no limitation. It will go forth and go forth in the momentum you give it, just by your consistent giving it through your heart, through the devotion, through the faith, through the authority that you are God, to speak the word of the flame to go forth unto a certain aspect in your life, or a certain family that has abused one another, and calling forth that that activity be that it encompass all of life. The current need of studying the teachings, of focusing only on pure material, 100%, is the necessity for the light servers that wish to be part of the world ecclesia. For any activity, as I have said time before, any activity that engenders some form of occult activity, some form of falsehood, the clinging to previous religions, specifically revolving around the East, must be looked into to notice that these seeds that are now teachings that other individuals have taught others, that are not of the purity, that are not of the teaching of the Brotherhood of Light, plant seeds in other presences of God. And this deteriorates the teachings. It harms what has been put forth in past teachings. And so we need to discriminate with the mother light of the white fire of purity. That truly, if a teaching from the Brotherhood of Light implies that there are other individuals that have made us be a certain way upon this planet, that other teachings that convey the Eastern occult practices are not what the ecclesia, what the Brotherhood of Light, on which we have been anointed as, bringing forth the reason because those teachings deteriorate the individual. They deteriorate the teachings of the past, and they must be plucked out of the individual worlds of those who have magnetized these teachings. We all know that the current hour is needed by our all, of giving forth our momentum to the planet that is on the verge of very great change. And this will depend on the participation of you, of how much you depend upon teachings of purity and teachings that are of the old, the past and occult laws, and perhaps the many channelings that are practically numberless, being cast forth from the internet and from communities worldwide. And if you need sources, we are here for you. We are setting into action the full vibration that is possible through what has given to us, what has been given to us through the Brotherhood of Light and their teachings. And so we go forward today to make the decision on what I am talking about, what you know, or what you should contemplate, and how to pursue the fullness of being your Marian presence and making the calls when you're at work, when you are driving and doing your errands throughout your affairs, meeting your friends, whatever it is, it matters not. That being the full presence on God to the intricate release through your mental body, which comes always through your Christ presence from those working above, including your Marian presence, of what needs calls in a certain part of the world, perhaps a certain service that needs to be given at a certain hour of the day, 2 a.m. There may be a need for you to be ready and step into the front of your mission. But this all comes along with the purification and the stepping into the sacred fire that is being released by the world ecclesia. The Ark of the Covenant. And truly, when you begin to step on this path, you begin to feel the honor and the full dignity and the joy of being the hands and feet of the Brotherhood of Light. You get to feel the joy of what it fully means to be in full-time service. And you may still be able to be in full-time service when you are working on a job, when you are in a meeting, when you are having to eat your food in these daily activities. You may direct your consciousness, you may speak your word, you may visualize and feel with all of your heart at all times love pouring forth from your being to the beauty, to the sanctity of life everywhere, within every person of the white fire being of God. It is time to join the ranks of Archangel Michael. and put forth the truth of God with our beloved Pallas Athena, and to study and apply the purity that is ingrained through the dispensation of the Brotherhood of Light that is now being given. And the guard must be present of your mighty I Am presence, enveloping you to watch what a sentence from a teaching of impurity does, if it leads upward or downward. And it is something that will always be conveyed in simplicity. That which is of light, and that which is what I speak, is not something necessarily you will remember, for your mighty I Am presence is the one who determines what you will remember. When anything is required during your day, it will be brought for you, to you, just through your continual application and being ready to receive, not having the imbalances of the fluctuations of human consciousness rupturing in and out of the mind, in the cells of your being. We are building the Golden Age. We are bringing New Jerusalem onto this planetary body by the will of God you may choose to accept, and which I have, in which I will for eternity, as that is my vow I take before thy I Am that I am, who we all are. As a grace of love, that we may be the fullness of every second of every day, untouched by the effluvia of the downward spirals of the consciousness that is not of God. We may be unaffected by any of it, just through our sheer devotion in the will of God, in the heart of our mighty I Am presence, the threefold flame, love, wisdom, and power, perfectly balanced for all to see and infuse into their beings as they see it. And they have that decision right then and there to accept this love or to turn down this love, which only is an acceleration of them being driven away from the light that is now being anchored now, and which I have been speaking about in my late posts. That individuals will not be able to remain if they choose to turn away from this love that is now being anchored and will be continually anchored by the hosts of heaven. We must make our lives simple, and the simplicity comes only from the sacred fire. must stand in the full momentum of Akasha, unaffected by the bombardment of the noise of the outer world, holding our tubu light firm, consistent violet flame on the instant whenever you have that feeling of discord in your being, right then and there, mighty I am presence, blaze through the cause-effect record of memory of this thing, of this condition in me, and replace it with the perfection of thine own heart. Mighty I am presence, blaze through the violet transmitting flame, in, through, and around the cause-effect record of memory of all inharmonious disturbances that has been affected by me this day, or any traumatic experiences that you still have in your mental body, lingering from your etheric body. And I apologize. I call them instruments because these bodies, 4 bodies, and some dispensations call them 4 lower bodies. When you call them instruments, there is a heightening of the vibration in which becomes known in the heart more firmly that they are for expression of beauty. Instrument is a word known by much of this planet that it is a radiator, a generator, a dynamo of thy will, in which we, the ambassadors of the sacred fire, choose that it be divine love and of the cosmic Christ, of melody, of harmony, of purity, all things good, of the God, of the sun behind the sun, the great central sun. Mighty I am presence, blaze the violet flame, in, through, and around me, through my instruments of God expression in every in-breath and out-breath throughout this day, right then and there as you demand that with your heart. It shall be so, because it is a constructive, it is a purely good command, activity, that your presence would be joyful to continually do it. Yes, it requires recognition throughout your day, but not all the day. And so, I realize that over the cosmic moments we have had together, through communion, through these videos, through Facebook, and through the very realms of Akasha, of the white fire of the Mother, that we share every second of the day on the etheric plane, that the emerald matrix, the ruby ray, are 2 flames, activities, that are needed for those of you and for those conditions around the world that are not compliant toward the prior flames of the violet flame, of the blue ray, of the ray of purity, the white fire. But this white fire of purity of which I speak is engendered as a 2-fold activity in the emerald matrix, whereas that white fire is the primary, and the emerald is an all-encompassing of all the rays. And that may sound confusing, but just know that through the teachings of the Brotherhood of Light that they have given, that this emerald matrix may drive out anything in your world, any traumatic experiences that you have gone through decades. It matters not. The momentum of the force of turmoil, of tumultuous experiences you've had day in and day out. It has no power, and the Emerald Matrix and the Ruby Ray, not red, these are two very different colors. Ruby, with the Emerald Matrix, the Emerald Fire, that engenders the full momentum of the white fire, when called forth with all your heart, unto your instruments, unto any sense of pride, or anything in your being of self-pity, victimhood, of that momentum that has been built, of which I have just spoken, may it be gone. And we have decrees for that. We have an Emerald Matrix service. We have Ruby Ray decrees. And just by sheer personal calls, which are not brought forth through the past dispensations, they are directed calls that your Mighty I Am Presence and the Brotherhood of Light gives through you to whatever conditions need to be called for. And you may just sheer call for this Ruby Ray unto your being, with the combined momentum of the Emerald Matrix, with the combined momentum of the entire spirit of the Brotherhood of Light, the great, angelic, and ascended host, the mighty Elohim of light and life, which is the 24, the 4 and 20 elders. And so we are here today, and we have broken through the wall of human consciousness, and this seeming limitation, this seeming force of opposition is no more through thy knowledge that I have given. You know of which I speak. And so, this illumination is yours. And it may bring you to the sheer perfection of your divine plan. The fulfillment of every bill you have, just by your sheer recognition of it being already fulfilled by your command, and that you give daily recognition that it is done, it is finished, it is sealed. Please. It is needed for every student of the light to give recognition to what they have called forth. And just not forget about it. Because the more you give recognition to its activity, the more the cosmic law allows for that activity to sustain that momentum that you have put forth. And so it is, my dear ones. Many of you may not understand why you don't feel the heart purity to give. You may not feel the heart-driven force or determination to apply some of these teachings because it's unfamiliar energy, it's vibration. And just know that through these commands that you issue forth, which we would be happy to give you, if you so desire, to begin this path, it breaks these limitations that are upon your being that have been in your etheric instrument. Your etheric body, if I will. And I say this only because of its accuracy may not be in terms with yours, but just now with me, come into the faithfulness of the words I speak, that through this application shatters all mental human concepts of not understanding, of not being able to bring forth the beautiful song and music through your hands and voice. It just takes your faith, it just takes your devotion and your decrees, which shatter all human limitation and obstruction, by the hand of God, at your conscious call, you have now waiting for you. We have had centuries, thousands of times we have been upon this planet in both male and female forms, and we have built great discordant momentums of habit that many students still have in their day-to-day conditions, their lives, and which I still have in my life. But much through my application and teaching is being washed away. And may it be so for all of you, that the comic Christ replaces every last erg of karma and discord that you have built through the centuries be washed clean by the comic Christ command of your mighty iron presence and my mighty iron presence and every mighty iron presence upon this planetary body. May it be so in the name of the hosts of the Lord. May it be so in the name Sanat Kumara. May it be so in the name I am that I am. What I give you today is of my heart, and that which you have chosen to receive, you have my honor. I thank you for every bit and drop of your attention that you have given me, which is really the mighty I am presence, the Father, Mother, God. And I bid you to seek this very fire that emblazes through me, through thee, to go forth and do what needs to be done this hour, every hour, until your victory in the ascension and the light, where immortal youth, purity, and perfection is known, and known not by time, space, and place. May it be so.